Right, so I'm Bob Cheeseman, member of the London Ex-Boxers Association. I've done a bit of schoolboy and a little bit of amateur, only little bits. But now I run the Freddie Mills Club, which is dedicated to any people that have learning difficulties or physically have a physical problem or a mental problem. And we've got a good crew, and it's highly supported by the boxing fraternity, of which I'm a part of. So I'll keep in contact with all the boxing fraternity, you know.
Have you had any fights when you were younger?
Yeah, when I was a kid, yeah. Oh, 15, 16 when I was a kid.
How many did you win?
11.
Knockout?
No, I was only a kid then, you know what I mean? There wasn't many knockouts. Got a few hard punches myself, got nearly knocked out myself. And I take a deep breath and have a count and come back. But I got involved with the Fisher Club as well, and I sparred a lot with the Fisher boys because I enjoy it, I loved it, and I used to spar with an ABA champion there and a Commonwealth medal winner, a fellow called Mickey Kingwall. And we used to spar a lot, but I used to spar with everybody in the Fisher.
Did you enjoy training?
Loved it. Well, didn't really. I've got to say that. Yeah, that's not good if you tell youngsters. Training is part of it. You know, train hard, fight easy. So but I enjoyed with the Fisher. You join a family in boxing, and that's how in the Fisher Club you all stuck together. And the Fisher Club, I was just telling the crew down there that what we call that's called the South East Corner. That's the South East Corner of London, England, and we all sit there because we all come from the South East Corner. That emulates what we had at the Fisher Club. You all sit together. You used to go out Friday night together, you went out Saturday night together, and Sunday morning together. You done it Sunday, maybe Sunday night. But you was a family and supported one another heavily. Still do.
Do you think boxers back then were better than boxers now? Like, what do you think?
I think all fighters deserve the same respect. You're up there as an amateur, you're up there for 3 rounds. Whether it's 2, 1 or 3 threes. Everybody deserves respect. They get up and they get in that ring and they're on their own. They've got their cornerman, but for the next 1 to 3 minutes, or if you're a professional, you know, like it's a longer session, but they're up there and they're out there on their own, and it's an art. A lot of people think it's a fight, it's an art. It's an art. In that amount of time, that period of time, they've got to learn to see what they can do or get in with, and how they can box, how their opponent boxes. No, I think all boxers deserve respect.
I started boxing as a 12-year-old and I retired when I was 26.
Yeah.
I had around 150 amateur fights and 34 professional fights.
How many of them professional fights did you win?
I won 32 of them. I drew one and lost one on a disqualification for the European title in Italy, in Milan. Which was grossly unfair, I think, but it did me a favour because I didn't box again. I retired and went into business, and I did quite well. I was a metalwork contractor. We eventually did the work on Big Ben when that was all done.
Oh yeah.
We had 6 men up there for 30 months working on it. We did the gates and railings around Leicester Square. We did the gates at Buckingham Palace, so we did a lot of work in central London.
Oh, fantastic.
And I was managed by Bobby Neal, who sat by the side of me, and if I had my time to come over again, I would do exactly the same thing. He managed me very well. As I say, I lost 2 contests one on disqualification and one with just a draw. So I was well matched, well looked after. I came out of boxing with all my faculties.
Yeah.
I think. My memory's not so good these days, or my eyesight.
Yeah.
But due to this man, Bobby Neal, we had a great time. When I had my first fight, I was 13 years of age. Concerned, nervous, and I won my first 2 amateur fights. And I lost many amateur fights, but I always trained hard, which is important. I'm going to tell you a little story now. When I was boxing for the schoolboy championships, Nottingham schoolboys were boxing Leicester schoolboys in the first round of the schoolboy championship. And I boxed a guy from Leicester in a 2-ring row in a school gymnasium in Leicester. The rounds were 2 1.5-minute rounds and 1 2-minute rounds, and there was probably 20 to 25 fights in the first round of the schoolboy championship. And I woke up coming home in the car a mile from home, didn't know where I'd been, what I'd done, or what had happened. What had happened, the boxing match started, and I got knocked down in the first round, went back to my corner, came out in the second round, and I knocked this boy out. And I didn't know where I'd been, what had happened, or anything. Boxing is dangerous as well, so you must train hard, do what your trainer tells you, and eat and live correctly. That's the only advice I could give you in boxing. You must do it properly, not half-heartedly, train properly, work hard, be conscious of everything that's around you know, and you do well.
What was, you know, when you had your first fight, the way you were feeling, how did you overcome your feelings of that, your nervousness and stuff like that?
Well, the fight started and you're taught to box, and that's what you do. In football matches, the players are nervous before the match. Boxing's a little different because if you don't train properly, you can get hurt. Like I've just said, I got knocked down in a contest and lost my memory. Boxing's dangerous, but you must do it correctly.